The world watches with bated breath as tensions escalate in the Middle East, this time with Israel and the Houthis in Yemen edging closer to open conflict. This is not just another regional flare-up. The stability of global trade routes, the delicate balance of power in the Middle East, and the ever-present risk of wider conflict hang in the balance. This brewing storm, centered around the Red Sea, has far-reaching implications for the entire international community. Understanding the motivations, the players, and the potential consequences is crucial for navigating the turbulent waters ahead. The Houthi movement, far from being a fringe group, is a powerful force with deep roots in Yemen's complex history. Their influence and actions have shaped the nation's trajectory in profound ways, making them a key player in the region's ongoing turmoil. Born from the Zaydi Shia sect, the Houthis have long felt marginalized, their grievances with the Yemeni government festering for decades. This sense of exclusion and injustice has fueled their determination to fight for recognition and power. This internal conflict, simmering since the 1990s, boiled over in 2014 when the Houthis, leveraging their military prowess and popular support in northern Yemen, seized control of the capital, Sana'a. This bold move marked a significant turning point in Yemen's modern history. This power grab, condemned by the international community, plunged Yemen into a brutal civil war that continues to rage. The conflict has caused immense suffering and devastation, with countless lives lost and millions displaced. However, this is not just an internal Yemeni affair. The conflict has far-reaching implications, drawing in neighboring countries and global powers, each with their own interests and agendas. The Houthis are not alone in their struggle. They have forged alliances with various groups and nations, seeking support to bolster their position and sustain their fight. Their alliance with Iran, a regional powerhouse with its own ambitions in the Middle East, has added fuel to the fire. Iran's involvement has significantly altered the dynamics of the conflict, making it even more complex and intractable. Iran sees the Houthis as a valuable proxy, a way to project its influence across the Arabian Peninsula and threaten its rivals, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. This strategic alliance has heightened tensions in the region. This dynamic has transformed the Yemeni conflict into a dangerous proxy war, with regional and international actors increasingly drawn into the fray. The stakes are high, and the path to peace remains elusive as the battle for control and influence continues unabated. For Israel, the rise of the Houthis, particularly their increasing boldness in the Red Sea, represents a clear and present danger. This is not just a regional issue but a significant international concern. The Red Sea is not just another body of water. It is a critical maritime corridor that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Indian Ocean, making it a strategic choke point for global trade. It is a vital artery of global commerce, a crucial passage for oil tankers and cargo ships traveling between Asia, Europe, and beyond. Every day, millions of barrels of oil and countless goods pass through this narrow waterway. Disruptions to this maritime route, whether from piracy, terrorism, or outright conflict, have the potential to send shockwaves through the global economy. The stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences of instability in this region can be far-reaching. But for Israel, the threat goes beyond economics. It is a matter of national security and survival. It strikes at the heart of its national security. The proximity of these threats to Israeli territory means that any escalation could have immediate and dire consequences. The Houthis, armed and emboldened by their Iranian patrons, have shown an increasing willingness to target Israeli interests. Their growing capabilities and boldness are a direct result of Iranian support. Their attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea are not random acts of violence. They are calculated moves intended to disrupt and destabilize. They are deliberate provocations designed to test Israel's resolve and undermine its sense of security. Each attack is a message, a challenge to Israel's ability to protect its interests. For a nation that has long relied on its military strength and strategic depth, the prospect of an Iranian-backed militia operating with impunity in such a strategically vital waterway is unacceptable. Israel must navigate this complex and volatile situation with both caution and determination. The recent escalation in tensions did not occur in a vacuum. It is the culmination of months of mounting provocations and retaliatory strikes. Since late 2023, the Houthis have launched a barrage of missiles and drones targeting Israeli territory. These attacks, while largely ineffective in inflicting significant damage, are meant to send a message that the Houthis have the capability and the will to strike at the heart of Israel. Israel, for its part, has responded with its characteristic forcefulness, launching airstrikes against Houthi-controlled infrastructure in Yemen. These strikes, often targeting military installations, air bases, and communication hubs, are designed to degrade Houthi capabilities and deter future attacks. However, the cycle of violence seems only to be escalating, with each side seemingly determined to respond to aggression with more aggression. Section 5. A global stage international response to the Houthi threat. The international community, alarmed by the escalating violence and the potential for a wider conflict, has not remained on the sidelines. Nations around the world have voiced their concerns and taken various actions to address the situation. The United States and the United Kingdom, recognizing the threat posed by the Houthis to global maritime security, have conducted their own airstrikes in Yemen, targeting Houthi military assets and infrastructure. These operations are part of a broader strategy to curb the Houthis' influence and ensure the safety of international shipping routes. These strikes, while limited in scope, demonstrate the growing international concern over the Houthis' destabilizing actions. The global community is increasingly aware of the potential repercussions if the conflict is allowed to escalate unchecked. The presence of warships from the United States, the United Kingdom, and France in the Red Sea further underscores the international community's commitment to safeguarding this vital waterway. These naval forces are not only a show of strength but also a protective measure to ensure the free flow of commerce through this critical region. These naval deployments serve as a deterrent against further Houthi aggression and are a clear signal to Iran that its support for the Houthis will not go unchecked. The international community is united in its stance that destabilizing actions in the region will be met with a coordinated response. However, the question remains, can these measures contain the conflict, or will the situation continue to spiral? The future of the region hangs in the balance, and the international community must remain vigilant and proactive in its efforts to bring about a peaceful resolution. Section 6. Preparing for war, Israel's military calculus. Behind the scenes, Israel is actively preparing for the possibility of a full-blown military campaign against the Houthis. The Israeli Defense Forces, renowned for their military prowess and technological superiority, are mobilizing their forces, deploying naval assets to the Red Sea, and readying their air power for potential strikes. This is not a decision taken lightly. Israel, having fought numerous wars and conflicts in its short history, understands the costs of war. However, for Israel, this is not just about punishing the Houthis for their provocations, it is about sending an unequivocal message to Iran that it will not tolerate threats to its security, and that it is willing to take decisive action to protect its interests. A military campaign, while risky, may be seen by Israeli strategists as the only way to decisively alter the strategic equation and re-establish deterrence. Section 7. The diplomatic tightrope, seeking international legitimacy. Despite its military preparations, Israel is acutely aware that a unilateral military action carries significant risks. A protracted conflict in Yemen, particularly one that draws in regional powers or escalates into a wider war, is in no one's interest. Therefore, Israel is actively engaging in diplomatic efforts, seeking international support and legitimacy for any potential military action. The United States, Israel's closest ally, holds the key to unlocking this diplomatic puzzle. Israel is likely seeking assurances of American backing, both political and logistical, for any military operation. American support would not only provide crucial military assistance but also lend international legitimacy to Israel's actions, potentially deterring a wider conflict and paving the way for a negotiated solution. Section 8. Charting the course, potential outcomes, and regional implications. The potential outcomes of this standoff are as numerous as they are uncertain. A successful Israeli military campaign, one that cripples the Houthis' ability to threaten maritime traffic in the Red Sea, could restore stability to the region and deter future Iranian adventurism. However, this outcome is far from guaranteed. The Houthis, despite their technological inferiority, have proven to be a resilient and determined adversary. A protracted conflict in Yemen, one that draws in regional powers or escalates into a wider war, is a very real possibility. one with potentially catastrophic consequences for the entire Middle East. The stability of the region, already fragile, hangs in the balance. Section 9. A call for vigilance. The stakes of instability in the Middle East. The world must pay close attention to the unfolding events in the Red Sea. This is not simply a regional conflict but a crisis with global implications. The stability of the Middle East, the free flow of oil and goods through vital maritime routes, and the delicate balance of power in the region are all at stake. The international community must use all its diplomatic tools to de-escalate the situation, urging restraint on all sides and seeking a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Yemen. The alternative, a wider war in the Middle East, is a scenario too grim to contemplate. The stakes are simply too high to let this crisis spiral out of control.